What's up, queens? This is it, the official. Let me try to center this. First, let me say, excuse my voice. I had surgery Monday on my throat, so my voice is still a little rusty. Also, I just, I'm at a conference. I'm in my girlfriend's hotel room. Just coming to make this video because it's Sunday and I want people to start their week off right, and hopefully they can get their journals tonight and start Monday. I start the week off fresh. So I wanted to come to you and talk to you a little bit about the 90-day radical self-love journey, why it is what it is, and why I think it might be great for you. So, where do I start? So I'm not editing this video because I got to get it out. It's Sunday, March 13th, and I got to get this video out. So at some point, I'll make a really nice, cute, edited video. But for right now, this is what we're working with. So what I want to talk to you first about is the definition. So in the journal, I have definitions listed for radical, self-love, and journey. Radical, the definition of radical is relating to or affecting the fundamental nature of something, far-reaching and thorough. So that's one of the reasons I chose the word radical, is because radical means like a big change. So I feel like in going on this journey, you're gonna have to make some big changes. What does that one saying say? If you always do what you always done, you always get what you always got. And what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So this calls for a radical change in your behavior. And so hopefully after 90 days, you will get there. They say that it takes 21 days to change a habit, and it takes 90 days to create a lifestyle. I want this to be a lifestyle for us, those who choose to use it. Self-love, regard for one's own well-being and happiness, chiefly consider a desirable rather than narcissistic characteristic. So it's not a bad thing to love yourself. So I think, especially us women, we get a bad rap for caring for ourselves. But what do they tell you on the airplane? Put the mask on your face first. You can't help somebody else if you don't get the oxygen in first. So we've been sold this bill of goods that we need to be selfless and we need to just give all of ourselves away to everybody else. But meanwhile, we're diminishing who we are in that process. But it's just something that has been ingrained in women, and I think as mothers, we're naturally nurturers. So it's just it's mothers and women. Any woman is naturally a nurturer usually, and it's just been ingrained in us to try to take care of other people, consider other people before ourselves. But that's over. We're done with that because we realize that it's not a bad thing to focus on you so that you can be a better person for other people. So, and I always say that. I used to hear mothers, you know, when my kids were younger, they'd be like, I don't even shower. I'm like, that's dumb. You need to be taking care of yourself. How can you running on empty? You pouring from an empty cup. You don't even have anything. You need to be filling yourself up, making sure you're taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. So that's part of self-love. And then journey, an act of traveling from one place to another. So where you are now, and you should be somewhere else when we're done. So this is not saying you don't love yourself. This is just taking you to another level of love. There's levels of love. If you've ever been in a relationship, if you know relationships, you know there's levels to relationships. This is another level of relationship with yourself. It's going to make you all the better for it. So the journal is a digital journal, and I'll show you what it looks like on my iPad, hopefully. So it's 90-day radical self-love journey. It's a digital journal. You will purchase it on Etsy. I'll put the link in the description. And you also have to, if you don't have GoodNotes, I think there are a couple other things, like there's a app called GoodNotes that you have to purchase in order to be able to access the journal. You can, if you have an iPad or some tablet, you can use your pencil to write in a journal, or you can type in it. So if you have it on your phone, you can type in it on your phone. It'll be accessed accessible from your phone and your journal. So some days when you don't, maybe not have, some times when you don't have your tablet with you, you can also go on your phone. You don't want to miss a day. That's the thing. We want to establish a new lifestyle of next level self-love. So let's talk about why I did this. So some of you, or any of you that know me, I was married for 28 years. I recently divorced, and I made a conscious decision when I divorced. I knew that I wanted to work on my healing and be very intentional about that. Why? Because I knew and have seen people over the years, 10 years later, 15 years later, they are still mad, angry, haven't forgiven, bitter, face frowned up, not living their best lives because they're still holding on to the garbage from the relationship. I knew I did not want to be that person. I did not. So I was like, let's get to work. What do I need to do? Who do I need to see? What do I need to read? What videos do I need to watch? So I was very intentional about my healing. I went to therapy. I read books. I watched a ton of relationship videos. I have 2 relationship coaches that I consider my relationship coaches. They're online. Tony Gaskins and R.C. Blake's put me on game, okay? So in terms of, I mean, because, I've been out the game. I don't know what the, and then just, if you know anything about any of them, they'll just, help you to be self-reflective and, see your part in whatever's going on in relationship or past relationship. And so it was hugely important for me. If you know R.C. Blakes, he's like the father I never had. Like, I mean, the man is all of that. So if you ever get a chance, watch him. Actually, I'm planning to do a playlist on my YouTube channel on relationships and pick out some of my favorite videos, so like people can just go on there and look at them without having to search through all their stuff. Just my personal favorites that were like really impactful for me. So I did all of that, and I was like, 2 years in the game, working on my healing, doing me, all of that. And what I realized was that I had worked on some of the relational things. I had done my forgiveness work. I had healed, and I wasn't bitter anymore. I had forgiven. I was good. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. Because my main thing was, I do not want to go in another relationship with this baggage. I want to make sure that I'm healed and whole before I go anywhere else or try to be anywhere else with anyone else. So, I thought I was good to go. Fast forward. Get into a situation, and I realized, I don't think I love myself at the level I need to in order to be in a healthy, fully functional relationship. So I'm like, rewind the tape. Let me go back and work on me. So if you know anything about, so it's not, and not even just in divorce, just my own personal opinion, not just in divorce, in raising children, and maybe a death of somebody that you love, maybe, a transition that you had to make. There are things that kind of beat you down personally. So it diminishes maybe the view you have on yourself because of the responsibility that you take in whatever happened or whatever. So I said, you know what? I'm going to focus on building myself up to the next level, because we all have, we have dreams, desires, aspirations, things we are not able to accomplish if you're not on a certain level within yourself. And so I knew that I was being hindered in many ways because of where I was in terms of loving myself. I am a mother. I'm very selfless. I'm just a giver by nature. Maybe some of that is dysfunction. And I tend to not put myself first. Although I'm not, one of the ones, I'm not taking a shower. I've always been, I feel like as a mom, done my thing, had a life, did not let my children chew me up and spit me out, on that level. But like I said, there's levels. I want to get to the next level of self-love. So that's why I created this journal. And I thought, it'd be great for a lot of other people to experience this. So I created it for other people to use, and hopefully they can experience some of the things I've experienced so far while using this. So I will say it only takes me, I'm on day 10 currently as when I film this video. It only takes me about 10 minutes every day to do it. I do have, it's a conscious decision because I want to get to that next level. So I'm very committed to it. On top of the fact, I wanted to make sure it worked before I told other people to do it. So I just kind of, maybe it's God inspired what I decided to do in the journal. And I can't say maybe. I mean, God gave me the idea for it, and here it is. And prayerfully, it'll do great things for you. One thing I know is you're not going to be worse off. I know that. That I can guarantee you. If you get it and you write in it from 90 days and you worse off, call me. I'm going to give you double your money back. Okay? So I do know that. I can stand on that. You won't be worse off. You'll definitely be better off. I'm sure you'll be at another level in your life, and hopefully this will become a lifestyle and a way of living and a way of speaking to yourself. So basically, if I can put it in a nutshell of what is it, it's basically a way of seeing yourself. We tend to see ourselves through lenses of who people think we are, who people want us to be, who we think we should be at whatever stage we're in. We tend to beat ourselves up. We tend to be harsh to ourselves. We speak more kindly to our friends than we do to ourselves. I know most of us, we're hard on ourselves. Like, if you don't get something done, you're like, you know what, you never do it, you're a procrastinator, you this, you did it. We'll run it down. But when our girlfriends call us, when you got good girlfriends, I got good girlfriends, and I'm a good friend, I'm like, girl, and one of my spiritual gifts is exhortation. So I'm hyped, man. What, girl? I can see past all the mess, and let's get to it. You can do it. I know you can. And so that's who I want to be for me. Like, step outside myself and speak that way to myself, encourage myself every day, no matter what's going on and no matter what I see. So want to begin to look at yourself more like God looks at you, and how you should really, that's how you should be viewing yourself in all situations. And it's not dependent on what you do. It's not behavior based. It's based on who God says you are. And He is a good Father. He doesn't talk, I don't want to say mean. He's not mean to us. He's kind and loving to us. And that's how we should be to ourselves. So that's the premise behind it. And I tried to make it something that you can do quickly because, we're all busy, and you might have another thing that you do, or, maybe you journal or read your devotional or do some other things. So this might be in addition to that, but it's different because it's self-focused, and not so much, you talking to God or praying to God, but it's more so you looking inward at yourself and speaking to yourself. So one of the first things, so we talked about the definition. In the beginning of the journal, I listed some Bible scriptures. They're just suggestions for maybe what you would choose to use every week, but you can use scriptures or affirmations, whatever works for you, whatever you love. But these are just some of my favorites that are very encouraging. So they're in the front. You don't have to use them. You can, they're just ideas and suggestions. So those are one of the first things that you see are the Bible scriptures. The next thing you see, which is one of my favorite things, is a page that looks like this, if you can see that. Okay. On this page, I have seven little boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this little section is just for notes. And what's in these boxes are designed to help you envision yourself, designed to help you write a vision for some of the things that you want to learn in these 90 days, who you want to be, places you want to go, things you want to do, opportunities to give, things you want to buy, and books you want to read. So I have 3, and they're all numbered 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then there's the extra spots in case you want to do more than that, or if you end up adding some things. So this is like the first thing you do. So for example, learn. I want to learn how to glass blow, and I want to take the class, so I'm putting that on here. We're already in March in 2022 when this video is being recorded. We're already in March. I haven't done anything that I wanted to do. 90 days goes quick. If you're not intentional about the things you want to do, time just rolls. If you're looking at this all the time or every week and you're like, I did say I want a glass bowl, let me call, make it, get the schedule the class or whatever it is that you want to learn. I don't know. So you just self-reflect, think about some of the things that you've been putting off, and you can write 3 things down. Write 1 down. Just write something down. B. So in terms of B, I said I was going to come up with a list of things you want to be. Maybe you want to be fearless. You want to be more connected. Maybe you want to be more present. Maybe you want to be, one of my things is I want to be anxious for nothing. Maybe you want to be more outspoken. Maybe you want to be a person who has better boundaries. So whatever it is, think about some of the things that you have thought that you, in terms of self-improvement, that you want to be, and write those down. Go is, where are 3 places that you want to go, that you write them down. 3 places you want to go. 3 things you want to do. One of the things I want to do, so I'll give you, is I want to do aerial yoga, and I haven't done it. I always say it. I've been saying it for years, and so that's one of my on do. Give. What are some organizations that you want to give to, either time, money, lend a hand, or volunteer, whatever. So you write down 3 things that you want to give, or 1, or whatever. 3 things that you want to buy. What are some things you've been wanting and you would like to treat yourself with? And then read. I have spot for reading books, and I actually, for my 3, I've been reading a book a week. Actually, the second book I'm on, it's taking me a little longer, but my goal is to read 1 book every week. And so so you write down some books you want to read. New knowledge is great. And reading, I have Audible also. So you can listen to books on your way to work, while you're working out, while you're around the house, and get it in your head if you can't sit down and physically read, or if you don't really want to read. Audible is phenomenal. I love it. So when you download a book on Audible, if you're not familiar with it, Amazon owns it. Amazon owns everything. But it's an Amazon app. You purchase books, you download them, and it'll tell you like how many hours it's going to take to read this particular book. So that's great, because when you see like maybe 6 or 7 hours, you're just like, oh, I can get that done. To and from work, I can get an hour done every day. So that's a week right there. You're done. The book is done. So that kind of thing. So Audible is great. Just sitting down reading. So I usually do both. Typically, depending on the size of the book, I'll have a book, the physical book, and then I have it on Audible also. So, so I can get it done, because that was, one of the challenges, just procrastinating reading. And then, so I said, okay, you know what? If I can't get it done sitting down, I'll listen to it. So that is what you write down. That's the first thing that you do. So then there's 12 tabs for every week, and this is week 1. And so what you do, and when you have your week 1, is you rewrite 6 of the things, because the 7th one is reading. So you rewrite those just to get them back fresh in your head as a reminder, and to remind, as a reminder that these are the things that you are committing to in this journey, on this journey. Then you write down the scripture that you're going to memorize, or the affirmation for the week, and then you write down what you're reading at that time. So for the week or the month or whatever, but you just write it down, just a reminder that you should be getting some new knowledge. You should be reading something, listening to something, doing something, whatever. So like I said, you rewrite, you learn, be, go, do, give, and buy. And so that's for week 1. And then, hold on. And then you swipe the page, and then you start at day 1. So let's talk about what's in the days. So in the day, you write down your affirmation in your script or your scripture every day. The other thing you want to do is recite it in a mirror when as much as possible. Why? Because it makes it more real. Writing is one way to memorize something. Reciting, it gets even more ingrained in your brain. The one thing I like about in the mirror is because it makes it very personal. It's uncomfortable to look in the mirror and say things to yourself. Why? Because we're like, we start analyzing, whatever. So it's uncomfortable, but it's very impactful because whatever you're saying, it makes it true to you. Because you just say it in the air, it's in the air. But when you say it in the mirror, you are saying it to yourself. So it makes a difference in saying it in the mirror. So, so I would implore you to do that because it is uncomfortable. It feels silly, but trust me, it's impactful. So if you would do that, do it for a week. If you feel like that's dumb, I'm not doing that, okay, give it up. But if you really do it, look at yourself and say it in a week. I promise you, you'll get it. So, and the next thing you do is you write down, I say, Queen, how are you feeling? So you write down how you're feeling that particular day. So if it's, I'm happy, I'm nervous about this, I'm sad, I'm excited, whatever it is, however you're feeling, you just write down how you're feeling. So after you do that, if it's something positive and you feel like I'm good, keep it moving to the next thing. If it's some negative feelings that you're having, the next section I have is any advice for your best friend. Who's your best friend? You are your own best friend. What does Beyonce say? I'm gonna be my own best friend. What she say? What's the song? How it go? Me, myself, and I. It's all I got in the end. That's what I found out. And it ain't no use to cry. I'm gonna be my own best friend. Right. So you're your own best friend. Why do I say that? Because we tell our best friend, if you're a real best friend, you a hype man. And when your friend comes to you and say, I'm sad about this, I'm scared about this, I'm nervous about this, I'm whatever, you are like, hold on, girl. Don't you remember when God brought you through this, that, or the other? Hasn't he always been faithful? Don't you always make it through? Don't you? So whatever advice you would give to your good friend, you write it down, you give it to yourself. And that, I'm telling you, it shifts your perspective because you come outside of the situation and you look at it. So when you're in something, it's hard to see outside of it. And you know this to be the truth because when you tell people stuff, most of the time they have some positive feedback for you because they're outside of it and they can speak into you. So you speak into yourself. You be your own best friend, speaking to yourself. The next thing you do is called toot toot. Today I. So toot toot is about tooting your own horn and giving yourself some praise for something that you've done that day. It could be, I read 10 pages of the book when I normally don't. I walked a mile when I didn't even feel like going to the gym. Whatever it is that you do, I folded that basket of laundry when it would have sat there until the weekend. I cleaned my car out. I straightened off my desk at work. I completed the paper I needed to write. Whatever it is, you toot your own horn. And what that does for you is it reminds you that every little thing counts. We should celebrate all accomplishments. Nothing's too small because the small step that you're taking is usually something bigger. And also, when you're encouraged, you're more likely to do more of the same or even more things that are positive. So you toot your own horn. You're like, you know what, girl? I know you only walked up 4 flights of steps, but that's 4 more than you did yesterday. Keep it going. So you toot your own horn. So you definitely want to, because every day we do something that we should be proud of, that we should pat ourselves on the back for. And so I want us to begin to look at everything as being an accomplishment. Even it doesn't have to be, I finished my PhD program. Can you just finish the paper that you were supposed to write in the program? Whatever. So, like I said, small things end up being pieces of, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You can't just eat the whole elephant. So that is why I want you to toot your own horn, begin to encourage yourself to do more of something that you may have been working on, and celebrate your accomplishments. The last thing you do on your day is you write down something that you're grateful for. So, that's self-explanatory. Just write down 1 thing, 2 things, 4 things, 10 things. Just be grateful for something. I don't care who you are. If you can write in a thing, I don't care what's going on in your life. If you can write in the journal, be grateful you can write. Be grateful you have the journal. Be grateful that you have the frame of mind to even want to help yourself. Whatever it is, there's always something to be grateful for. I don't care who you are and what's going on in your life. So that is the premise of that, is for you to be grateful in all things. Be grateful. So that's it. So basically, like, it takes me like 10 minutes. Sometimes, just depending on 10, at the most 15, but usually it's like 10 minutes, especially as you start doing it. You'll get quicker and quicker, and you'll start thinking, even with the toot, when you achieve something, yesterday or whatever, you'll be like, oh yeah, I did that. So you'll begin to encourage yourself even before you write it down in a journal. So you do that every day, and you do days 1 through 7, and then when you start the new week, or the new, when at the end of the 7th day, on the 8th day, you'll begin a new week, be week 2, and then you will start all over and rewriting down the things you have in your learn, be, go, do, give, buy section. So that is it. So I'm telling you, it's been great for me. I didn't, I wrote it, I created it, but I didn't really know, like, is this really gonna work? Does this really work? And I'm telling you, y'all, it's been life-changing for me already in day 10, because it just shifts your perspective. If you begin to speak to yourself in a certain way, when things happen, you kind of automatically click into where you normally would go to the left. You kind of like, hold on, wait a minute, girl. You can da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and snap yourself out of it. So it's been, I'm only on day 10. And just like toot my own horn, being proud of whatever small accomplishment, it's just been building me up, building my faith, helping me see myself the way God sees me. He is a good father. He is not a judgmental father. He is not, his love for us is not based on our behavior. He loves us anyway. So it helps you to see things in a different perspective. I'm so excited about it. I'm so glad it's available. I want you to write in the comments, even after that, or you have a few days, come back, write in the comments what it's doing for you, how it's working. I do want to, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. So y'all say in the comments. I was thinking about having a private Facebook group for those people who purchase the journal, and then that way we can go in there and encourage each other, be accountable to each other. So this is what I've been saying. If you get the journal, you should call a friend, choose a friend so that they can do it, and that you two can at least be accountable to each other and say, girl, you've been doing it. No, I haven't. That's okay. When you don't, you get back on the horse. That's okay, because life happens. You miss a day, okay, you right back. Get back on it. So it's great if you partner with another woman so you guys can encourage each other to do it and be accountable to each other. So I'm thinking if we do a Facebook group, that would be a great place to share some things, toot your own horn, talk about gratitude, talk about your challenges, and even just self-reflecting and maybe writing down your feelings or think about whatever it is. It's a safe place to share. Obviously not every life, like things that could get out, because it is the internet, and even if this is a private group, you don't know, just y'all know what I'm saying. So I'm thinking about doing that. So if you think it's a good idea to do a private Facebook group, let me know and I'll do it. Because then I was thinking if I did a private Facebook group, then I might go in once a week, do a live, and we talk about different topics related to self-love, self-care, maybe interview some women or whatever. So let me know if you think it's a great idea to do a private Facebook group, and I definitely will do it. I don't want to be over there by myself. So if you say yes, Facebook group, I'm gonna call you out. So that's my 2 cents. Thanks for listening. It's been 30 minutes. Hopefully you got what you needed, and this was very self-explanatory. And I look forward to hearing how it's going for you, your journey. So, thanks. Be blessed.